Right, we're back. After all the technical difficulties, we're back. So back on the train of thought. You was in year 11 when COVID started, right?
Me,
Yeah,
year 10.
year 10. So did you
Mm.
end up sitting your GCSEs or was it the predicted grades?
It was predicted grades, but we still people are like, oh, you didn't sit GCSEs, which is true, but I still had to like go into the hall and do exams. It was just like a lot. There was a lot more of them, and they were like smaller, so I guess it was easier. But yeah, like A levels will be like my first proper like full on exams.
Lucky.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got a
My
light now. Oh
GCSEs
my.
in 40 days.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not.
So
It is what it is.
Yeah. Well, so how are you feeling about having your GCSEs in 60 days?
I'm a pass them. I'll be fine.
Cool, confident. Give me 2 seconds.
Well, I take triple science and computing, so
Triple
Ah,
science. That was.
if only we
I
could
do
have
take
your
it.
confidence, eh?
Well, I'm passing everything right now, so I should be fine.
Fair enough.
I think I'm like the equivalent of B's in almost everything, so I should be good.
Nice. I remember back when I was doing, we was in COVID. It started in year 11, and I always had this teacher. She would always tell me off when I would like destroy my work. It was far too OCD. If it wasn't right, it was going in the bin. She was like, "No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't destroy your books. You shouldn't destroy your books. If something bad happened to you, like you got injured and you couldn't sit them, then they'd go off with your books." And I laughed at her. I was like, "Ha ha, never gonna happen. I'm invincible." And then we got the lockdown. Oh, you can't come to schools, this, that, and the other. And then we went online, and she said, "Oh, so we're just gonna do some work." Week goes by, and she's like, "Did you see the news?" And it just said, "Oh, we're going off predicted grades from your coursework." I said, "Oh, what
Mm.
about it?" And she said, "Well, if you would have listened, we're going off coursework now." And you know what? I was so gutted because I
Mm.
would have had an A if I didn't tear up my books. I still pulled a B, but it was like, oh, if only I listened to people. I think
And that.
that's the biggest lesson I took from lockdown was listen to the people that are trying to help.
Mm.
Because I think the last 2 years of my education, I had so many mentors that just pushed me to where I am now. Um, I never listened to any of them until recently. I look back and I was like, oh, all the lessons they taught me. It wasn't even the educational lessons. That doesn't matter. It was more of like the. I remember this one teacher. He was my art teacher. He sat me down. I always used to get stressed out because like there was another child who had some needs and would like destroy my artwork, and I was so annoyed. And so he sat me down and he put some sand on the table and he said, "Draw me a picture." So I drew a picture and he said, "That's really good." And I was like, "Yeah, do you want to take a picture?" He didn't take a picture. He blew it all away. I got annoyed. I was like, "What are you doing?" And he said, "Why are you annoyed?" I said, "Because you just destroyed my work." He said, "What do you have now?" I said, "Nothing." He said, "What did you start with?" "Nothing." And he was like, "Okay, so if you had nothing and you're back to nothing, you've lost nothing in theory." I was like, "Yeah, in a way." And he was like, "So why do you get so annoyed when things go wrong? You're not set back past the point you was at. You're just back to the beginning." I was like, "Fair enough," you know. And I think that's one of the biggest lessons that stuck with me.
Mm.
Um, but I feel like the mentors that we have, like we always have a parent, we have the parent figures, but then we have an outside force that is our mentor, and I feel like they teach us more than the parents sometimes. And I'm wondering if you had a mentor, kind of,
Which one are
Alice.
you talking to?
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
um, I think. I think it was more than one person really. I remember right before we went into lockdown, I would go on Saturdays. I had like performing arts classes, and it was like 3 hours, and we were like putting on a big musical. and I joined quite recently, and I was quite like I was somewhat confident when I joined, but not nowhere near as much as I am now. And I remember the show getting cancelled and being like so like devastated because it was like me being able to show my parents for the first time like something that I've been working on and how much I've improved. Then like all of our classes got moved on Zoom, and just having those like every week and like being able to see like so many people and just like have a laugh and like work on things that kind of like really got me through, and like they were always so nice to me. Yeah, I think definitely it played a big part in like keeping my spirits up during lockdown.
Fair enough. Ethan, did you have a mentor figure in your life?
I would say a mental figure. I had an aspiration instead. Not you actually.
Well,
You know who Cactus is. No one else will understand that name.
all right, fair enough.
Known him for the last
Explain a
5
little bit.
years. Okay, best online friend for the last 5 years, and we've always had the idea of meeting up. But to do that, you have to get to a certain point to be able to do it. You can't just suddenly just disappear to a different country.
I mean, as much as you'd love to,
Oh yeah, I would.
just up and go. Oh, text your mum. Oh, I knocked for Ethan. He's not there. Where is he? To be honest, I think he's moved abroad. Oh, right. Never seen him again, then am
I
I?
wouldn't mind him moving abroad.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not cheap to see someone in a different country, regardless
It's
of where
not.
it is.
It's really not.
So
I've never been on a plane.
Have you
neither have
not?
I haven't
Oh, that's it. I'm gonna fly you out to Amsterdam now.
been on a hovercraft. But
Hovercraft.
yeah, I've been on a hovercraft.
What was that like?
Oh, it's when you go over stairs on a bike.
Yeah.
It's like that,
Can't
but
ride a
for like
bike.
an hour.
Oh, that's
Wait,
horrible.
what?
You can't ride a bike.
No,
Wait a minute.
So
I'm gonna learn this summer.
right, give me a shout. We've got enough bikes to throw your way
Yeah,
to.
we do.
Lovely.
So
We've
I
got like
always
10.
yeah I've got loads. So I always live by this analogy. It was kind of one that I like made like one day. So Ethan, do you remember learning to ride a bike?
Yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah, you fell off. Yeah.
I went straight into a lamppost.
Okay. So
Yeah.
the first time you started, you fell off. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So how many times would you say you fell off?
probably a year straight.
A year straight. Yeah. And even at your age now, even though however confident you are, do you still fall off once in a while?
Very rarely.
Yeah.
Very rarely, but I have.
Okay. So let me put it to you like this. So we're just starting as being adults. We're failing. Yeah, we fail every now and then.
You can't succeed till you fail.
But even our parents who have been riding the bike for many years, even sometimes they fall off. Everyone falls off, but by falling off, you learn how to succeed. You have to fail to succeed.
You have to recognize what failure is to know what success can be.
Mm-hmm.
And don't recognize it as a failure. Just go
Lesson.
like, I didn't. You can't fail if you learn. It's not a failure, it's a life lesson.
Mhm.
And as long as you can change the mentality and the mindset that you have towards whatever's going on, you have a positive mindset and you will accomplish anything you want. Like I had an argument with someone today, yeah, a random guy. It was like both of our faults. I'm a cyclist, he's a driver. You know how it goes. And I was like, look, in a couple of weeks you'll forget this ever happened. So why are you letting it be such a big thing for you now? If you go and tell someone, nobody's gonna care. So why are you letting it affect you so much? And he just stood there and he was like, blah, 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 blah. I was like, no, stop and actually think about it. Will you care in 2 hours? Yeah. Will you care in 2 days? I probably will. Will you care in 2 years? No. Then why do you care now? And so off he toddled off to the shops, probably to do whatever he was doing. And off I went on my way thinking, hey ho, I didn't let it affect me, and I think that by what I said, he isn't affected now. But if you let these little things affect you, they will just put you in a bad mindset. If you have a bad mindset, you just are like self-destructive.
That's really what it's about, the mindset. And I think it's like you have to learn by going through like and making mistakes.
Yeah. Ethan, how's your
Yes.
positive mindset?
Most of the time, not actually very positive because of anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to certain things or like subjects, I'm completely fine.
But I mean, you use humour to
Yes.
sort yours out a lot. Remember, this is going on
A little
YouTube, so
bit.
you can't talk about too much.
I have to be a bit careful here.
But you've had quite a fair bit happen to you, and you'll just come out and you'll just joke about it. Everyone will look at you like, what's he just said? You can't say that. And it'll be like, well, actually, I'm dealing with it.
I can say whatever I want in the context of a joke.
Yeah, and the thing
Within
is,
reason.
you say stuff in the most bluntest way,
Yeah.
but it's the best way. Because you're not
I'd
like,
rather be honest than lie.
exactly, you don't lie about what happened. You tell everyone honestly. And I think that's admirable sometimes. Like the way that people just like, what's getting you down at the moment? Oh, so and so, this and that. And it's like, dude, how on earth have you just spoke about that? Like, people can't even speak about stuff that happened years to them ago. And I think being able to speak out is
I
one of
don't
them.
massively have an issue with any trauma. So,
But I think that's the way you dealt with it as well. You don't recognize it as trauma.
no.
But to everyone
It's
else,
just extra comedy.
yeah. It's to you, it's character building. To other people, it would be trauma.
Yeah,
And I think by having that mindset has also helped you to like kind of not get over it, but to better cope with it. You know? Alice, you had anything like that?
I think like over the last year, I've kind of had to learn how to speak to people about things. Because I remember I joined college like after like GCSEs and like just after all the lockdowns, and it wasn't because of that. I think I was more just like shy. I really didn't like open up to people, and like even one of my friends said she was like, "You never actually like go into like how your day is or anything." Like I was like, "Oh, I didn't even realize I was like, holding back or anything." But like as soon as she said that, I kind of in my head had to make a conscious effort to speak about things. And so when things got really difficult and like situations got like really bad or things happened, then I was able to speak about them to people. I kind of had to build up the tools, and I didn't even realize that I'd need them later on. So yeah, it definitely helps to speak to people, 100%. You
Yeah.
should never feel bad about that either, because like some people make you feel bad speaking about them when they've hurt you. It's like, you just feel guilty that you've hurt me. Like I should be able to speak to people, like
You feel like you don't want to put bad on their name, but like at the same time, it's like, but they really did screw me over.
yeah, and like they did that, like that was on them. That's not your fault in any
This
way.
This is where I use comedy.
Yeah.
I've had several things like that happen, and I just laugh.
All the people that have wronged you, and you just like, I
laugh at them.
what are you gonna do? The thing is, if you don't laugh, you're gonna cry.
The best way to deal with pain is with a smile.
Exactly. Like you're gonna hurt either which way, so why not smile for it? And I think that's quite a good note to end on there. I think if that's one thing that anyone could take is, if you're gonna go through the pain, have a positive mindset and
laugh while you do it.
Laugh while you do it, yeah. I mean, there's plenty of people that are out there to help, plenty of services out there that can help. We've got quite a few in our Discord. Comment down below your Discord name, and we will add you to the Discord. If not, DM us on one of our socials at the Brunch Club Podcast on TikTok and Instagram. In the midst of making a Twitter, and we will contact you privately. That's all for us today. Have a good night.